Hey friends, so this is my vegan quiche Lorraine. It's an absolutely banging recipe. If you'd like to see more recipes like this, like and subscribe. Drop me comments below to let me know what else you'd like. Without further ado, let's cook. First up, we want to roll out the pastry. So take a generous helping of flour and dust your surface. Now just a bit more flour, pop that onto your rolling pin. Get that nice and coated so nothing sticks to it. Then we're going to take 500 grams of short crust, already made pastry, and we're just going to start to roll that out. Once your pastry is rolled nice and evenly like that, we're just going to prepare our tin. So for the tin, we're just going to grab a little bit of vegan butter on our paper towel like this, and we're just going to start to grease it. Just a thin layer of grease all over the tin. And then we're just going to grab a pinch of flour and dust it, then tap that around the tin to just make sure all of that grease is coated. So our tin's beautifully dusted. You can see that our pastry is rolled wide enough so that it's going to completely cover. So now if we fold the pastry onto the rolling pin, then we bring our tin nice and central, and we're just going to pop that over the top. Now really gently, working around the tin, you just want to fold it into the corners. So now you can start to trim away some of the excess pastry, but you want to leave a really good amount of overhang. So about 2 centimeters like I'm leaving here is perfect. Take your excess pastry, you can roll that in cellophane and put it in the fridge, keep it cool. And you can use that later, you can make a little mini tart with that. So if there's one thing everyone now knows about baking, it's that soggy bottoms are the enemy. So we're actually gonna blind bake this today. So we're gonna take some non-stick baking paper. We're gonna crumple it up to allow it to be a bit more flexible. Straighten the back out, and then we're just gonna pop that over the top of the pastry. You want to be really careful at this point because you don't want to cause any holes in the pastry. And then we're going to take our baking beads and we're just going to pop them into the paper and level them out, getting them into the corners. Now you want to bake that in the oven for 20 minutes on 170. So while we're blind baking the case, we're going to make the egg filling. So we're going to take our blender, just pop the top off that. Here we have 400 grams of firm tofu. So we're just going to break that up into the blender. Here's 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. You want a pinch of paprika, just half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a cup of gram flour, and then aquafaba. So we want all of the juice from 1 tin of chickpeas. Now once you've drained all that juice, what we're going to do is we're going to fill it up with water, swirl that around a little bit, and then we're going to drain that out in there as well. Now there's a generous pinch of salt, and then we're going to blend that up to a smooth consistency. That's beautiful, that's what you want. It's like a thick smoothie, that's the perfect consistency. So for now we're just going to pop that to one side. So our case is cooking away, our egg recipe is ready. Now we just want to take 8 vine tomatoes, put them in a baking tin, and we're just going to give them a generous glug of olive oil to coat them. Then we're going to bake them in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, so your tart's been baking for 20 minutes on 170. Pop that here, happy days. And then you've got your tomatoes as well. They've been cooking on 170. They've had about 15 minutes in there. You can see the skin's just started to crack. They're gonna be absolutely perfect for the tart like that. So now you wanna reduce the temperature of your oven to 140. So we can let that get to proper temperature. Now we're just gonna remove the baking beads from the base. And we'll start to fill our tart base. So first thing we're gonna do is take our egg mixture and we're gonna pour that in. Now we wanna add some of the cherry tomatoes into the base. Now you want to take a handful of spinach and we're just going to finely chop that and add that into the mix. Taking a fork, you just want to start to poke that into the mixture. So now we're going to add something super special. This is rice paper bacon. Now I've made this on a previous video. If you want to get that recipe, you can go and check it out now. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into some chunks. And we're just going to poke it in to the quiche all over there, nice and messy. Spread evenly all the way around. Now you're going to bake that on 140 for 30 minutes. So the quiche has been in the oven for about 25 minutes. It's got about 5 minutes left before it's going to come out. Then it's going to go back in for another 10, right? We're going to prepare the cheese for the top. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but a lot of the time when you use vegan cheese to go on top of something, whether it's a pizza, whatever it is, then you bake it, and sometimes it doesn't melt correctly. It will go a bit crispy on certain edges. It won't kind of melt together. So what I like to do is this. Put the pan on a really low heat, and then pop in the tiniest bit of vegan milk. That's about a teaspoon's worth. And then all you want to do, pop your vegan cheese in there as well. And on a really low heat, we're just going to mix that together until it's fully melted. So now that's completely melted, and we're just going to take that off the heat. We're going to pour it on top of our quiche. So our quiche is looking fantastic. What we're going to do is just put this cheese on the top. That's just going to go back in the oven to bake for another 10 minutes. So here we have it, all baked up, looking beautiful. Now you can see the shrinkage around here, and that is exactly why we don't trim the edge until the very end. So yeah, you can see how much it shrank there. We're going to trim around the whole of the edge now, and then leave it to rest. Now I know it looks beautiful, I know you've been baking for ages, I know you want to eat it, but you need to let that rest for at least an hour before you pop it out of that tin and start digging in. So beautiful people, this has been resting for well over an hour. Let's just pop it out of this tin. Should be all fully set now. You can see it's nice and rigid. Perfect. And I'm just going to slice into it to show what it's like inside. So. Salivating. So let's just slice some out. Look at that. Just nice and crumbly like eggs. You've got the umami taste of the bacon in there. It's absolutely beautiful. The spinach. It's a really, really tasty dish. I hope you give this one a go at home. This is my Quiche Lorraine vegan style recipe. Please like and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And until next time, friends, be nice to each other and goodbye.